All right, folks, welcome back to Uncle Al's Barbecue. The chicken has been brined and marinated, seasoned, and I showed you all that in the first video. Now I'm mixing up all these different types of flours. And in case you just came to this video, let me show you what I'm doing here. It's a new concoction, I never tried it, but I'm doing Louisiana, your all-purpose with some cornstarch. And then I got one of these from the Asian market, chicken frying powder. That might be tempura-ish. We'll find out, but since I'm mixing it all, it will have a unique crust. I guarantee you won't have this crust because have you done all-purpose flour, cornstarch, bought chicken jai? Where is this from? Well, can't read it all. I'll get back to that in a minute. And then Louisiana fry. I've used this before. It's good, and the kernel fry. But I'm mixing them all up. So, one thing you should do is get Mr. Sifter here for all of it. Anything you fry. Chicken fried steak. Now, if I was doing chicken fried steak, I would just use the flour and cornstarch. I wouldn't use this other chicken stuff here. All right, so you want to sift it and clean off your sifter what you can. Now, see how fine that looks? I want you to meet my little friend. Woo! So see how fine that looks? Man. So now you get you can use a fork to do this. I just happen to have this. So Mr. Whisk, I believe you were called. So Mr. Whisker. And there we go. Mix it all up. Now I'm just doing a light dredge just to get them coated. And I'm going to pat them down a bit. And then I'm going to let them sit in here. And as I cook the ones that I let sit in here first, then I will incorporate the new pieces. So, how about we do this? We get a wing. We set a wing in there. And we get a drumstick. Come on. You got to show the drumstick when you do fried chicken. Now let's get a thigh. Now look at that one. Woo! That's got some seasoning on it. So there's 3 pieces, and that's kind of about all I want to do in my pan anyway. I cook it in a skillet. So, it's not a restaurant. You're cooking it at home. So since I cook it in a skillet, you need to have area around it. You don't ever let your chicken pieces touch. Or anything you're frying, don't let them touch. I mean, maybe a basket of French fries kind of can't help them, but or tater tot. But I would never, the way I'm cooking these, let your chicken pieces touch. And Mr. Tong here is just fantastic. Look, clean hands. Huh? Now I could have dumped it in a paper bag and did all that, but I have found out this is pretty much just as good a way to let it sit and let the flour adhere to it. So this right here, once again, the chicken was at room temperature. I believe I did it for an hour. And now I got them basically submerged and buried. I flipped them a few times over into this concoction. You knock it off, see that? So just let it adhere. And I will let these pieces actually sit here in this flour until my oil gets ready. And that will take probably 10 to 15 minutes. And let's get Mr. Drumstick right here just to show you, to tease you. Look at that, huh? That looking good? Looking pretty good to me. All right, so that's it. And I use the baking pan, glass pan tray here The reason I used it is because it's the first thing I seen. That's the way it is at Uncle Al's, man. I just try to keep it simple. First plate I grab, I use it. I don't need to have special bowls and tools and stuff to cook a piece of food. I just need to cook it. All right. These are thoroughly, Mr. Tom, coated. Thoroughly coated. So I'm going to let that bind up, and Mr. Crisco is about to go into the frying pan. And I will get it up to about 350 degrees. I got a digital thermometer, and I will show you what it looks like when I put it in. I'll just cook these 3 pieces, and I think you got the idea. And, you know, just reuse the same flour. This way you don't waste stuff either. Folks, once you bread something in the flour for chicken, unless you're cooking a lot of food for everyone else, deep frying other things or whatever, once this is done and chicken's been in there, the flour is basically ruined. You got to throw out whatever you don't use. I would, because that's raw chicken in that flour. So anyway, there you go. We'll get this Crisco going, and I'm going to pause this one and try and just make this a 2-part video. Okay, folks, I put the Crisco shortening in there, and turned it on medium at first. You need to have patience on this right here. And we got our floured up chicken right over to the side, sitting there. And we're going to wait for this Crisco to get going. Now, I made another video and it showed the whole deal, but I'll show you when it's up to temperature, and then we'll get it cooking. Man, it kind of looks like Cool Whip, don't it? All right. All right, folks. My digital thermometer is not working today. It requires one of these square type batteries. See that? What I did do, I don't know. I just know the sizes, and the square one's the only square one. I pulled this battery out of this thermometer, and I put it in my guitar. That guitar has EMGs in it, so it runs on the battery. And now I just killed my thermometer. So we're going to go old school today. And you put the flour in, which I've done in another video. And when it runs to the side, pretty much saying it's done. It's got a little shimmer to it. And what I would do, listen to me correctly, do not do this, but see how it's got a shimmer? I'll flip 1 drop of water in there. That's it. See how it's bubbling up? Do not do that. I'm telling everybody right now, YouTube, the whole world, do not flick water into your oil. But I did it, so that lets me know we're pretty much ready to go. So we're going to lay in this thigh first. Woo! Look at that. And that'll probably be the last one to finish too. And then we'll put on in this drumstick. And that'll probably be second to last. And we'll go ahead and put this wing in here. The reason is the drumstick, ooh, the wing got submerged. Usually I do not submerge it. I cook it where it's half out and all that. Oh, there it goes. Came back up. Okay, your thigh is going to take the longest to cook, period. Drumstick will probably be second, a breast third, and then your wing will be pretty much the fastest, because the wing and the breast are white meat. And it's not as dense, it's not as heavy. I'm a thigh guy. I could eat just thighs forever. But we are making a video about fried chicken, so let's cook all the pieces. That's what Uncle Al's all about. Because you may be a drumstick man and say, I like them legs and that's what I want. Okay? Oh, if you're a breast man, sorry I let you down. Wasn't intentional. It just kind of happened. There's no breast in the pack. Let me go back to that too. I went to Walmart and I found a package that said thighs, wings, and drumstick. And I was just gonna go there to get quarters. But since they had the wings in there, well, a quarter is the thigh and the drumstick, in case you don't know that. That is a quarter. So they threw in the wings, and I said, shoot, I'll go ahead and do that. Everybody likes a wing. And the pack was on sale. And that was it. And unfortunately, about some of these places, when you go to buy your chicken, you got to buy a whole bunch of pieces. Either that or I got there late. I mean, I don't know. But I didn't need 16 drumsticks and, 10 breasts and 10 thighs and all that. The other thing was with the breasts, I would have bought them, but they were skinless, boneless breasts. You can make fried chicken out of that, and it is fantastic. But that is not fried chicken as traditional. If you were going to go to your favorite chicken place, you would get, the breast would have the bone in, around the little rib thing and all that. And that's where your flavor is. So anyway, what I am doing right now, I'm rambling on and these things are cooking, is I am dredging the other pieces of chicken in the flour, like I said, and doing one more drumstick, one more wing, and one more thigh. And as this goes on and continues, I'll continue to cook these pieces. So, you see the way it's going right now. I'm going to let it cook here for, I don't know, about 3 minutes or so. And what you want to do is you just kind of peek underneath it and just make sure that it is not burning. But usually where it rests on to, uh-oh, see that? Some water just came out of there. That's that thigh. When it rests on the pan, it's got to touch the pan, and the bottom of the pan is going to be hot. Now that right there is beautiful. Look at that, folks. I mean, they should make this into a video, and you can just sleep to it. Just sleep to fried chicken video. You know? So, ooh, little wings already kind of floating around some. Look at them, see? Look at that. Just the wings kind of cooking pretty quick. That's what I was telling you. So, well, we'll go ahead and roll Mr. Drumstick over then. Go ahead and roll him over. Let's check that out. Have you seen that? Yeah. Alright. So, on this recipe, I hate to tell you, you're going to have to babysit a little. I just lost some crust. That's it. Dang, man. Now I'm not going to get 1 million views and get invited to the White House. Man. I thought I was going to have the perfect chicken of the day. Here's another thing. When you cook your fried chicken and the crust looks good, or you think it's cooking and everything, your oil temperature is better to be lower than higher, because you don't want to burn your crust. So I'll go about 3 to 5 minutes on this side, and you can always pull it out and put it on a rack. Let's see if I can get you this rack. Look at this. See this rack? Alright. You can always pull it out and put your chicken on that rack and let it rest at room temperature while you cook a few more pieces, and then you refry it again. And there are recipes and there are videos that showed people do that. They'll cook the chicken for 10 minutes or so, and they'll pull it out, put it on the rack and let it rest, and then they'll refry it again. They don't re-dredge it, they just refry it. What I like to do, if I think the crust is perfect and everything, but you don't think that the chicken is completely done, I'll just put it in the oven. Case closed. Are you enjoying this? Alright, so let me go ahead and pause it. Okay, folks, I flipped them back over again, and you just gotta babysit them. That's the way it is. Woo! So as long as there's water coming out, or the bubbles, that's the water coming out, they're not done. But Mr. Wing, look at there, Mr. Wing is getting really close. Really close. Real close. Mr. Drumstick, he's trying. Now another thing I did back when I learned how to cook this, a friend of mine's mom, they're from Louisiana, you take a little ladle here, or a big spoon, gravy spoon, and you ladle that grease on top. Shortening, grease, whatever you want to call it. I think Mr. Chicken Wing is looking pretty done. Woo, look at him. There you go. That's the key right there. Yeah, Mr. Chicken Wing needs to be pulled off. See that? Looks like I've done this before a couple times, huh? Just ladle that all over it. There you go, yeah. Alright, I'm going to have to pull off Mr. Chicken Wings going on to the tray. Pull him off. Or is it really just a her? Woo! Let's set you down on top. Oh yeah, man. Golden brown. So, since Mr. Chicken Wing was done, like I told y'all earlier, pull one out, add in another. There we go. Pull one out, put another in. And on and on and on. Alright, here we are. I think Mr. Drumstick looking done now. What do y'all think? Woo! So we'll go ahead and set that one to the side. I already had to flip over Mr. Wing, so let's go ahead and replace Mr. Drumstick with another one. You know what? I think Mr. Thigh is done too. Alrighty. Woo, look at that. Alright, so, woo, look at that. Man. Alright. Alright, so, what does that mean? We got to put in one more Mr. Thigh. Okay, folks, you got it. And when the whole tray's done, I'll show you what the big pile of chicken looks like. Oh, I got a surprise. I found this. Famous Dave's cornbread. Woo! I'm going to make a video with that when this chicken's done. Alright, folks. We're down to the last 3 pieces here. I know some of you don't like a long video. Fried chicken is not automatic. It is not put it in the microwave and make it. It takes time. There's steps you have to do. But man, besides maybe my brisket, there is nothing better to eat ever. Remember this technique, folks. There's just sometimes you gotta help it along. I do have a butterball deep fryer. I could do it that way, but it's not traditional, so just showing you now. One last time. This one's still boiling. It's almost done. That's almost done. Let's try and flip this on the video. Those are some small thighs, but still got condensed meat. I mean, this one right here, yeah, I think he's about finished. This one's coming up close. Okay, folks. There they are, all cooked on that tray. That took some time. Look at that. Look at that. Man. Man, oh man. We got 4 little thighs there. A drumstick. 3 wings. Man, oh man. Let me tell you, that chicken's hot. You better let it cool down for at least 20 minutes. I'm going to make that cornbread now. Take me a little break. Let me tell you this. I started this marinade, I believe at, I'll say 3 o'clock. I just got done now at 7:10. So when you want to make you some fried chicken, this right here took 5 hours. Look at that. I mean, man, if I knew what I was doing, I could put that on a clickbait. Everybody be hitting. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching Uncle Al's Barbecue. And that's the fried chicken. I'm going to take me a little break, and I'm going to make that old famous Dave's cornbread and see how that turns out. Thank y'all.